Welcome to Politics Done Right. I'm Egberto Willis, your host. Good morning, Houston. Good morning, Harris County. Good morning, Texas. Good morning, United States of America. And of course, good morning to the world. How is everybody doing this morning? It is Monday, and I trust we're all going to do fine because we are the ones that are going to take the bull by the horns and make sure that the day is what we want it to be. Now, I understand that every so often there are few things that are out of our control, but even for the things out of our control, it's how we handle those things. Well, Senor, good morning. Today we only have one genius in the studio. Good morning, Jack Van Bever. How are you doing this morning, sir?
I'm good. I'm good this morning. Everything's going to be good.
All right. That's what we're talking about. Anyway, what that means is that we get about 15 to 20 to 30 seconds earlier to your word of wisdom, assuming that with all the work that you're doing at the same time, you still have a chance to tell me or give me a little word of wisdom.
Yeah, I got a little something for good old Mother Nature here this morning.
Let's talk about it.
All the little things you do help, conserve, recycle, repurpose. Don't buy them plastic bottles. Love your mother. Buy a water filter and bottle your own.
You know, that is good, great thinking. Let me tell you something, Jack. You know, my family here, they love that thing called sparkling water. You know, the water that kind of fizz. And one of the biggest industries right now is the water industry. Who would think about it? Selling H2O many times at a higher price than gasoline, at a higher price than milk sometimes, right? Well, interestingly, they love it, and they were drinking bottles and bottles of this stuff. And I don't know if you've gone to Sam's or one of these Sam's or Costco or one of these places to see how expensive those bottles are. So I looked and I said, did some calculations and realized I could cut the price by 90% or so by just getting one of those carbonizer, those fizzers, right? So now instead of having bottles to throw away, instead of both of any kind, we went and bought some repurposed plastic bottles that have the seal on it, got one of those fizzy machines, and now they can have an unlimited supply of carbonated water at a good price, at probably 90% cheaper than it was before. So, you're right, sir. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. Just they make lots of nice filters. You can get an RO system, and they're making nice bottles, nice insulated thermos bottles now to carry your water in, keep it cool. That would be the way to go. There's a really big plastic bottle spot out in the middle of the ocean. It's probably pretty gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad because you go there. There's a part where there's a circulation in the ocean that all you see is plastic, and when you bring it up, the sun has beaten up on the plastics, and the waves, all of that. So now you have your fish with micro pieces of plastic in their flesh, in their bodies. We need to do something about it, and it's not going to be an easy task. It didn't get there overnight. Probably won't clean up quickly at all. So something we got to work on.
We have to start cleaning up after ourselves and getting rid of them bottles, and really taking responsibility for that one would be a good way to start.
Remember the mother in Mother Nature, right?
It's not nice to fool with Mother Nature.
Oh, there you go, my brother. There you go. Anyway,
getting my merge mixed up.
Get it. Anyway, folks, Jack, we got a great program today, folks. We got the title of the show. Look, I'm going to try to talk on Medicare Advantage every day until the closes. Welcome aboard, Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain. She says, good morning to everyone. It has rained just like it should in October in Barcelona, Spain. Melanie Keelan also said, I saw your fizzer on the shorts. Yeah, Ashley kind of taped it when I was doing making some of that fizzy kind of thing, Yeah. Anyway, folks, I call the title of the show today, Medicare DisAdvantage again. we are a progressive country and our constitutional flaws exposed. Inside of the content, we're going to mostly talk again about, we're going to talk also about the electric cars. So the subtitle is, of course, we are in the Medicare sign up period and the Medicare Advantage snake oil sale is on. The election of Trump, the Supreme Court justice theft exposed our constitutional flaws, and the country is progressive. And in the email that I sent out, I put the country is progress. I guess I ran out of characters there, and given that it was late at night, I didn't see it. Guys, I stayed up till like 4:30 in the morning. I was talking to Jack about it. I stayed up like 4:30 in the morning on Saturday doing my taxes because the deadline to file my taxes, of course, because I take that extension, is today. So I had to make sure I had everything and did it. And anyhow, it turned out just fine. Before I get started with the show as well, I want to remind all folks that you can get to the show by going on your dial to 90.1 FM. But alternatively, there are many ways to get to us, folks. You can get to us, first of all, by going to, by streaming KPFT 90.1 FM on the TuneIn app. How do you do that? The TuneIn app, just remember, you can go to your app store and download TuneIn and search for KPFT, and you'll be able to stream us on either Android or Apple. You can also listen by going to the website at kpft.org. But let's stop there. Folks, we are in Fund Drive. I'm still trying to give you a great show while we are in Fund Drive asking you for money. So I want you to work with me on this. And while I'm giving my startup, etc., use this time to give us a call at 713-526-5738. 713-526-5738. Use this time now. Give us a call and please contribute what you can. If you can, we're trying hard to get sustainers. Sustainers mean, if you can give $5 a month to KPFT, we'll be happy. If you can give $10 a month, we'll be happy. If you can give $15 a month, we can be happy. If you can give $25 a month, you get a brick, a 4x8 brick that is going to be placed on our sidewalks with whatever message you want on it. If you can give $50 a month, we have a 8x8 brick that will be masked with your name and what you want to put on that brick. And it'll be there for however long KPFT exists. Folks, please, 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 we need your support. This particular show, Gonzalo, I'm coming to you in a second. This particular show must raise $5,000 minimum during this period, which comes out to something on the order of $300 per day, which some days we can make that, some days we don't. So I'm asking you to help us make it right now. So if we could get you call in right now. I'm giving you a great show, folks. So please don't change because you hear me doing a little bit of pitching right now, but you got a good show coming. But right now, as I'm doing a quick pitch, 713-526-5738, hit extension number 1 and tell that person whatever gift you want to, whatever donation you want to give to the program. Tell them it's for Politics Done Right. And I'll see your name pop up here on the screen, that I can give you a thank you on air, unless you say, I don't want you to thank me on air. But if at all possible, I love interacting with you all. I love thanking you guys for keeping this great station alive. So one more time, that is 713-526-5738. You can also reach us, folks, on KPF on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/KPFT Houston. You'll see the video of us right now. Right now today, I'm wearing my UT Longhorn workout shirt. You can also go to politicsdoneright.tv to watch us on YouTube. You can also check out whatever parts of the show we don't do. You can go to politicsdoneright.com/podcast to listen to all the clips, etc. Or you can go to our newsletter, which we identify all the items we're supposed to talk about. We may get to it, we may not, but you have it no matter what by going to politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. politicsdoneright.com/newsletter. So once again, I ask you to call 713-526 5738. Hit extension number 1 to contribute to the show. I'll see after you tell them it's for Politics Done Right and you donate. I'll see it pop up on the screen and I'll be able to thank you in real time. Before I get into the show, it seems like we have a caller first thing in the morning. Gonzalo, buenos días, mi hermano favorito. ¿Cómo estás?
Buenos días, Gilberto. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, sir. Talk to me, my brother. Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm going to speak about what Jack words of wisdoms were for today, because we talked the other day, and I thank the other callers that backed me up by saying that we should have more public transit. But I'm going to talk about the bottles and recycling. And I think your idea, it's great of buying a machine to maximize the use of carbonated water at home and discard the plastic that is so dangerous for our health. I think on my personal ground, I try to do myself whatever possible to recycle and reduce. But I see my neighborhood, for example, my trash can goes every week 1/3, not even half. I see my neighbors full all the time. I don't care. I mean, I carry my bag to do the groceries, and I don't use plastic bags. And I try to reduce as much as possible. Unfortunately, the trend, and I see in younger generations, if you go to school, you're going to see the amount of food wasted. And all this food is packed mostly in plastic and in styrofoam. I'm wondering where those things go. And I don't know if you observe really our surrounding and the geography of Houston, which is very flat. But we have mountains these days. What are these mountains? Yes. And I'm seriously concerned because obviously they don't dig up a hole and put all those things, because they know that sooner than later our water will be more polluted. But my question to you and everybody, especially scientists that listen to this, if we put a big mountain, what drips from the mountain, it goes somewhere. So whether you dig a hole or you just place it and that becomes a mountain, a fully packed mountain, that will have the same effect in the long run. So that's my thought for today. And thank you very much for your effort to reduce and recycle. I do my part, and I hope everybody who listens do their part too.
You know, Gonzalo, we can do a lot, and I love what you said, which is so important, and that is individually. We don't have to wait for a company or a nonprofit or whatever to do something. All of us individually can do a little something. I've seen my daughter.
I disagree with you a little bit. You know why? Because my mother lives in New York. She is a retired person, and she makes quite a bit of money. And she helps out Mother Nature by collecting cans and recycle them. They pay 5 cents, 10 cents, and that's an incentive for poor people here in Texas. I have seen them in the recycle places selling aluminum cans, which is the only thing that we recycle here, and give back some money. So I think the companies and the politicians should force those companies to sell and make quite a bit of money, Gatorade, and all the water companies, to make their fair share by giving an incentive to people and giving the 5 cents. Most of the bottles, when you see the bottles, they name the label. It's named which states do that. But unfortunately, we don't live in a state that cares most about that.
Gonzalo, we don't disagree at all. What I was trying to say is we don't need a corporation I get it. I used the wrong word. We don't have to wait for a corporation or a nonprofit to do something because of what you said. what we are doing, which is individually, we can all do a little something. And I was about to say that my daughter, I noticed she gets these bags now. She and my wife, and when they do grocery shopping, a lot of their groceries are in this one big. Sometimes they have like two or three of them in the car. One of them keep cool things cool. The other one is just there to hold the product, so that you don't have to have as much plastic bags, etc. Even though every so often they still come home with plastic bags. But the other thing, Gonzalo, is we can start making products that they're cellulosic products that look like plastic made out of cornstarch, and there's so many other things that we can do to create biodegradable products that actually save the environment. So, I mean, there are a lot of ways that we can actually start doing these things if we just have the will to do it and invest in this big ship, that carousel. Anyway, give me a closer, Senor Gonzalo.
Yeah, I would just talk more about the oil industry, and as you know, that's part of their income too. Making plastic products, because that's another side product of the oil industry. So we live, unfortunately, in the wrong place to do that, because they will push hard to sell and make most of the people think that that's the right way, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Gonzalo. Tenga buen día. You have a wonderful day, my brother. Anyways, folks, the first topic of the show today, I want to touch on Medicare one more time. And I am actually going to, I finally have the ability now to read the email that the person sent me. And the last time we just kind of spoke about it, I want to actually read the email that he sent me about him selling Medicare Advantage. I don't think we got through it the last show that we had. But before I read that, which is it's unsolicited, I want to remind you that this is a show that needs your support right now. We are in Fund Drive, and what I'm trying to do is, as we collect for Fund Drive, as you donate, give a show, I give a program, etc., to make sure that you don't think you're here just listening to somebody pitch for some money. So call 713-526-5738. Hit extension 1 to contribute. Extension 2 if you need to talk to me on air. But I ask some of you, please call 713-526-5738, extension 1, and contribute whatever you can. By the way, the Politics Done Right t-shirt, $100 contribution, gives you that Politics Done Right t-shirt. You don't have to pay for that all at once. Okay. And again, you get nice, cute politics t-shirt with the KPFT logo on it. You can get for our bricks with whatever you want to put on the brick, 4x8 for $25 a month to 8x8 for $50 a month. Or you can just say, I want to give KPFT $5 a month, a coffee a month. And in doing so, I help Howard and Jack keep those strings connected so we can have our 100,000 watt transmitter transmitted. $10 a month is another good one. $15 a month, whatever you can. Just give us a call. We take anything, everything, so that we can keep bringing this message to you. Thank you so kindly. 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Okay, title. I mean, a listener. First of all, I have been begging people, begging to get standard Medicare, and Medicare Part C, aka Medicare Advantage, is a fraud. And folks, I genuinely, when I say it's a fraud, I am not being hyperbolic. Medicare Advantage works for some people. I get it. But the underlying structure of Medicare Advantage is fraudulent. And don't get me wrong, for some people it works. It works for some people if they don't move around the country, if they're stuck in Houston or stuck in Alabama in some place, or they're not going to move. It's great. They control everything locally for you, what doctor you can see, what medicine you can have. If you are going to have a particular procedure, if they think your cancer is sufficiently bad to take care of it, they control everything. And in that way, they make profits for their shareholders, bonuses for their executives. Their profit motive is the least coverage we make for the money the government takes out of Medicare and give to Medicare Advantage, meaning the private healthcare. The most they take out of, the more they take out per customer, per patient, the least they give you in services, the more money they get for themselves. If you watch TV today, when you see whenever you see an advertising, every other ad, every so often there are these ads, Medicare Part C. They make you believe it's Medicare. It is not Medicare. It is private insurance with the same problems you've had in private insurance for eons. That's what Medicare Advantage is. That's Medicare Advantage, also known as Medicare Part C. They sell it as Medicare Part C is a combination of Medicare Part A, hospitalization, Medicare Part B, seeing a doctor, Medicare Part D, getting your drugs, and supplemental Medicare, which is to pay the 20% Medicare doesn't buy, and the Medigap, which is to pay the 20% you don't have. They tell you Medicare Part C is a accumulation of all of that. So it's so much better for the customer if you go to Medicare Part C. Here's the truth. The truth is they charge the government more per patient than standard Medicare turns out to be. And that is your money, your tax dollars going to these private companies to make a profit. Ask yourself a very important question. You know, advertising is very expensive. Super Bowl ads are expensive. Paying for ads during an NFL game is very expensive. Paying for ads on MSNBC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and Fox News is very expensive. Who do you think is paying, or where do you think the money is coming from? For all those Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part C, I can give you a Medicare. How much do you think it costs those very high-priced spokespersons that you see, those celebrities that are out there advertising Medicare Part C, Medicare Advantage? It's expensive and that is your money. All of that money going into advertising, all that money going into all these ways of promoting Medicare Part C. By the way, you know, Medicare Part A, Part B, and Part D, they don't advertise. They're a government provided service that people love because they have choice. The government doesn't have to advertise that. But Medicare Part C has all this money used in advertising. That's money that could have been used for healthcare, for all those uninsured people walking around Houston, walking around Nashville, walking around New York. Well, New York City and California and all these places, they take care of their indigent in the aggregate. So they get medical care in the aggregate. Not here in Texas. Not here in Texas. Good morning, Peggy Lopez. From California. You are not sleeping. You're up early. Thank you for listening to the show. You may have to call us in at the 3 o'clock show when you wake up again. But anyway, folks, it's wrong. And Eric Hayes, no, Bruce does not have Medicare Advantage. The guy who calls the show, he has Medicare, standard Medicare plus Medigap, which is that supplemental that they talk about. Anyway, folks, so if right now, if you're watching TV, folks, you're going to see Medicare Advantage from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to sleep. And every time you see an advertising for Medicare Advantage, consider it millions of doctor visits that couldn't be had. Because those rich fat cats are advertising to have you fooled into getting Medicare Advantage. And for any insurance agent right now, for anybody right now who's listening to me talk the truth about Medicare Advantage, I would love for you to give me a call. We can talk about it. Because I would like our audience to see a true conversation between a salesperson for Medicare Advantage and somebody who's going to ask them the pertinent questions that too often many of the people that at the time they need Medicare Advantage, the salesperson is there to advise them otherwise. So any salesperson right now who sells Medicare Advantage and want to refute what I'm saying, come on, you have a platform. You have a platform right now. You can call me right this minute. Let's talk. 713-526-5738, so that the audience can see if the truth about Medicare Advantage. So this is a call, an open call to people who are promoting and selling Medicare Advantage. There are people who appeared, who had gained the trust of Houstonians and are out there selling Medicare Advantage after they were newscasters, after they have garnered the trust of the Houston people. And I've seen it all over the country. These Medicare companies, Medicare Advantage companies, buy the trust of trusted individuals to sell this crap. 713-526-5738. Hey, you're a newscaster who's selling Medicare Advantage in Houston. Why don't you give me a call? You're a newscaster. People trust you. Give me a call. Let's talk about it on air live. 713-526-5738. By the way, folks, let me pause before I read the letter. I said I was going to read the letter, but I got all excited talking about this because, it touches me. I'm not at Medicare age yet. But I know so many people who have been conned. I wrote it at Daily Kos, and you had a couple people that complained, I have Medicare Advantage and I love it. And that's not what I'm talking about. I have Medicare Advantage and it costs me next to nothing. I get it. But I understand some people will just have to do it because they just don't have the money for Medigap. But what we need to do is fight with our politicians to make sure we get Medicare health care for all, what a humane country is supposed to do. That's what we need to do. That is what we need to do. Anyway, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Folks, I don't have any contributions yet. I will not be able to stay on air if I don't raise my $5,000. So I ask you so kindly, please give us a call at 713-526-5738. We cannot do it without you. We cannot do it without you. 713-526-5738. Welcome aboard, Peggy Lopez. Welcome aboard, Eric Hayes. Welcome aboard, Melanie Keelan from Barcelona, Spain. So I have Texas, California, and Spain in the house. All right, before I read the letter, let's go to Nola. Come on in, Nola.
Hi. Once again, I want to thank you for exposing what Medicare Advantage, really is. And I had an experience last week with that, dealing with my mother who has dementia and she needs wound care. And she's in a skilled nursing facility. They keep trying to release her when she couldn't even walk. And normally she could walk and do everything on her own. Mm-hmm. So I had to ask them, why do you want to release her? Why do they, keep trying to put her out of the skilled nursing facility and she's not well yet? So I had to appeal and I lost that appeal. So they said I could appeal again. I appealed again to this company, KeyPro. And I broke it down to them the second time that I had to appeal. I explained in great detail why she couldn't just come home and I couldn't just take care of her by myself. And I explained to them also what I learned from your show, that they really aren't Medicare, that it's private insurance. And I explained to the individual that I talked to on the phone that I did not know that when I chose it for her. They advertise it heavily as being just another part of Medicare. And, it clearly is not when you're trying to release a woman from a skilled nursing facility who's not well. So I did win the last appeal, and she's still there getting some of the help that she needs.
You know what you did? You scared the holy bejesus out of them because they realize now you became a talking point. You became somebody who has a true story, a true life experience that can come on air like you're doing right now to advise people that, yes, it is amazing. Whenever they feel that something is threatening, that something could possibly make a change, you went there, my dear, beautiful Nola, with knowledge. You went there with knowledge. And they realize, you know what? We better not play with this can of worms. You did right, my dear friend. You did right. And congratulations for your mother getting the health care that she deserves.
Thank you. I thank you so much for your show, and I'm definitely going to be a supporter. Like I said, I just moved back here, and I really wasn't familiar with this station, but I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly, Nola. You have a wonderful rest of your day. And folks, Nola's story is repeated over and over and over again. But let me tell you the thing. They make a bet. The way they deny, the way they reduce your services, and they do all these things. They make the bet that most people are going to throw their hands up in the air and say, I give up. I don't have the time to fight with these people. It's just too stressful. It's just too much. What we have to do is never give up. Together, we should never, ever, ever give up. Those people are evil. And when I say that, I am not being hyperbolic. When you are selling selling the denial of somebody's health for profit, I don't know what is more evil than that. I can't look somebody in the eye knowing that in order for me to make a whole bunch of money for these shareholders, I got to deny them service. I can't do that. And anybody who can do that, and that is what our system does to us, right? It takes away the heart. It takes away the ability to take responsibility. Because if you can go back and say, well, that's just our system, that's just how it works, it absolves you of the responsibility of honesty. It absolves you of the responsibility to do right. Kudos to Nola on sticking with it and making sure they took care of her mother. And if you are having any issues with these private companies, my brothers and sisters, email me, drop me a line, come on the air with me. And I tell you what else I promise to do. If you have a situation where videos are better, I will go to your location if you're if you're within 50, 60 miles or so. And we'll talk, video it. We need to expose these legal thugs for what they are and what they're doing. And I mean that from the depths of my heart. We are not going to change a system until we change a system. And we're only doing that by being knowledgeable and being engaged. Let me read the letter right now. And before, Hando, I need you to call 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. Hit extension 1 to contribute to the show. And I want to be able to announce you right here on air that you are a contributor. Consider being someone that gives, let's say, a coffee a month, $5 a month, 2 coffees a month, $10 a month, 3 coffees a month, $15 a month. And all of it adds up. I have to raise $300 per show. I have to raise $5,000 for the duration of this thing. And I'm not anywhere close to it. And so far today, I'm at a big donut hole. So please give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension 1 to donate, extension 2 to come on here. Here's the story. A listener to my program, Politics Done Right, who received one of my recent newsletters, sent me the following email. Thank you for sending the Common Dreams piece on Medicare Advantage. I will pass it on to friends. I know it's true. This is a bit long, but please read the end to the end. It's important info. I am a health and life insurance agent, inactive at the moment due to more important life-saving disease awareness project. When I started out selling health insurance, I sold Medicare Advantage plans. I even got one myself. My doc was on the plan. So I signed up. This is a salesperson. This is somebody who used to sell Medicare Advantage. But when I got my card, it was for a doctor 30 miles away. I called and was told on their regular plans, but not that he was on their regular plans, but not on the Medicare Advantage plan. I dropped that and went on to Blue Cross, which was better until I had a stent put in and faced a $2,200 out of pocket cost. Again, that's how they make their money. They tell you, well, if you can use this doctor, you can use that doctor, but if you use this one, it's out of pocket. And sometimes you don't even know it's out of pocket until you realize that doctor that particular clinic uses isn't on the plan. And sometimes you don't find that out till later. I stopped selling Medicare Advantage plans, only supplements, and wish I could get on one. But I didn't think I could qualify with multiple medical problems. But when my very healthy wife retired and left her company plan for Medicare, I took her to a Medicare specialist to see if any Medicare Advantage plan would be good for her, since she had no health problems, and decided a PPO plan would be best for her after consulting with her daughter, a healthcare attorney handling managed care contracts for a regional healthcare group with Aetna. I told the agent I thought Medicare Advantage plans were okay as long as you don't get sick. But if you had health problems, you need to be on regular Medicare with a supplement. And I wish I had done that myself, but I thought I no longer qualified. He said I was wrong. With AARP's United Healthcare, as long as you're not dead or dying, you can qualify. He signed me up for AARP, put in an app, and I got on the F plan. In other words, what he's saying is the following. He went to Medicare Advantage. Medicare Advantage simply did not work for him, but he thought he was stuck. Oh my God, I am stuck with Medicare Advantage, because if you start with Medicare, I need to explain a few things real quick here. So I'm stop reading for a second. If you go for Medicare Advantage at 65, right out the bat, you have foregone for the next 6 months, or rather, after 6 months on that Medicare Advantage plan, you have foregone your opportunity where a private insurance company has to sign you up for Medigap. That's the supplemental Medicare program, without going through any physical tests or checking out if you're sick or whatever. So if you take a Medicare Advantage plan, you have 6 months to get the hell out and go back to standard Medicare and get a supplemental. Let me back up. Anybody can go back to Medicare standard. Anybody, whether you're in Medicare Advantage, you can drop back to Medicare Advantage, to standard Medicare. But the difference is that Medigap, that's a 20% that Medicare doesn't cover. There is a plan called Medigap. It's a supplemental plan that you'll purchase, not very expensive if you get it right out the door. But if you wait till you get sick and leave Medicare Advantage, it costs you more. Well, it turns out that this former Medicare Advantage salesperson was not sick enough that they denied him coverage when he got back into standard Medicare. But the problem is, usually the premium is much higher. And in his case, it was much higher, the premium that he had to pay. So here's what he said. Yes, I pay a bit more, $300 a month, an extra $300 a month compared to my wife's $30 a month. But the 20% on my F plan pays each month runs about $990. It runs about $990 if I didn't have it. So here is the basic idea from from the message that he's saying. He's saying ultimately, and he sent me another explainer after he sent this message. He said, if he had stuck with his Medicare Advantage plan based on what he needs, he would have been paying an extra $9,950 out of pocket for this supposedly great Medicare system. It's not Medicare, it's private insurance, it's for profit. And anytime you put that word for profit in there, and look, I don't have a problem about profit. I am a software developer. I used to have my own software company that sold. I mean, we love profit, but we need to know where profit belongs. And it definitely does not belong in healthcare. Folks, give us a call, 713-526-5738. Again, that number is 713-526-5738. I need to raise the monies for our program. Without you calling in, this program, I guarantee you, will be off air for a program that makes money. So I'm asking you so kindly right now that I'm at another little pitch point to give me a call at 713-526-5738. Go ahead and hit the number 1 to contribute. Remember to tell them this is for Politics Done Right. If you do this within the next 15, 16 minutes, I will be able to see it and thank you on air. Otherwise, I'll have to thank you tomorrow. But I ask you so kindly to give us a call at 713-526-5738. Hit extension number 1 to contribute, extension number 2 to talk to me on air. We cannot do this without you. What options do you have? You can go ahead, and we're trying to build up our sustainer base so that we can have less fund drives. And the sustainer base, folks, goes like this. You give us $5 a month, coffee a month or so, or you can give us, that's $5 a month or so, $10 a month or so, $15 a month or so, whatever you want. Hell, if you want to give $7 a month, whatever you can. We need to build a base to support this show. And as you can see, the purpose of this show is to enlighten, for us to mutually educate, for us to make sure that we stand together against a system intent on simply using us as a profit motive. So please give us a call at 713-526-5738. You heard Nola earlier. Nola made it clear that we make a difference in the program. And I know a lot of you from the emails that I get, we make a difference. And if you have to tell me something you want me to do, kpft@politicsdoneright.com, kpft@politicsdoneright.com. Let's go to Mike. Come on in, Mike.
Yeah, good morning. I've got, last week I heard you discuss with one of the callers a subject, and I think today it was a theory, and you pointed it out as an interesting theory, compelling theory. I think yesterday we received confirmation, and the confirmation came from Israeli newspapers, the Times of Israel, the Jerusalem Post, and Haaretz. 3 different reporters, investigative reporters, reported that Netanyahu has, over the last several years, decade or longer, has been encouraging Hamas, has been fostering Hamas, has been encouraging the funding of Hamas, Qatar to send funding to Hamas. And his reason was he needed an enemy, number one, that he can point to and say that Palestinians are terrorists and we have to keep fighting, and to sabotage the peace process. This was the only reporting in the U.S. that I've seen so far. Obviously, I haven't seen everything, but the only thing I've seen so far was on CNN, GPS, a weekly show, international show.
Right.
And then, I mean, to me, this is huge. This just busts everything open. Here we are, they keep accusing the Palestinians of not being a peace partner, of being nothing but terrorists. But here is the proof that it was Netanyahu, and I'm sure he's got people deep in their intelligence agencies. He couldn't do this on his own. There's no way he could do this on his own. He has people collaborating with him in their intelligence agencies to ensure that the Palestinians always had a violent element in them that they could point to and say, we can't make peace. We can only make war.
Mike, let me just interrupt you for a second here. I want to say 2 things on this. I don't know if you got my newsletter that I sent out on Sunday. And this is what I said in the newsletter. I said, because of, you made an important point, a very, very important point. 3 major newspapers with accurate reporting gave some truths about
Israeli newspapers.
Right,
Really?
including Haaretz, which is one of the number one papers in Israel. They came out and they told the truth after investigative research that Netanyahu is definitely responsible, created the platform for what occurred to occur. Let me just state that. This is reported not only from Israel, but two other papers. Actually, it's more than two other papers, but I'll digress that. But I sent out a newsletter stating, for my program here, Politics Done Right on KPFT, you can discuss it. You can talk about it if you want. I'm refraining from talking about the Palestinian-Israeli issue because the same reason why you don't hear a lot of newscasts in the United States report what they're even reporting in Israel. Remember, this is also being reported in Israel, and that is why Netanyahu's tanking with respect to the people. 4 out of 5 people want him out of there. They're learning the truth even in Israel, a truth that we're not allowed to hear here in the United States, and a truth that even when we mention it here on KPFT creates a backlash I am not willing to entertain, because as somebody told me, I am just one of many mics here at KPFT. So therefore, thank you for bringing that truth for the people to hear, but I won't further discuss the Palestinian-Israeli issue unless to answer a quick question from a caller, a knowledgeable caller like you who reports it. But to tell everybody, on my 3 o'clock internet show, I go through all of this stuff in detail, but not here at KPFT.
What is the internet show?
Just go to politicsdoneright.tv. Politicsdoneright.tv. I do it at 3 o'clock because, again, we want to respect people's wants, etc. But anyway, Mike, anything else you got to say real quickly?
No, thank you. I've been a longtime supporter of this radio station, and I will, as soon as I get out of my car, contribute again. Because you guys are speaking the truth. You guys are speaking the truth and letting all sides of the story be heard. Thank you.
Well, Mike, when you contribute, remember to put Politics Done Right as the program you're supporting, please, because I'm at a donut hole right now. So thank you so kindly, Mike. All right, let's go to Harry. Come on in, Harry.
Good morning, Alberto Willis.
Good.
How are you? How was your weekend?
I am doing fine, sir. I'm doing fine. How you doing, my brother? I trust that your weekend was fine.
Oh, it was fine. It was productive, going to church like I do, and learning more about God and keeping God in my life, those kinds of things. Well, I'll just talk about Medicare DisAdvantage. Like I said, like I've told you on other shows, we have an election coming up next year. And as Howard Reynolds always said, we have to vote these bums out. This thing came in when Bush 43 came into office. And I'm so happy that your earlier caller, Nora, she had the knowledge to be able to find out that she was being taken advantage of and that she can't be taken advantage of anymore, so she can get the adequate health care for her mother. And we just have to do as you're saying. We have to listen to people like you. We got to listen to Tom Hartman. We got to listen to Ralph Nader. All these people who know the truth about Medicare, because as your other guy on there, Jack Van Dever, is always saying, privatize the profits, socialize the costs onto the taxpayer, and it's just unfair. We just have to do that. And I'll make another comment too. For those who were listening on Friday's show, when I was talking about Mary Lou Retton, I didn't say anything about pole vaults. I said horse vault. So those people, for the caller, Barney,
I hear you, brother.
Because I know the difference between a pole vault, which is track and field, and a horse vault, which is gymnastics. And you run down that mat, and then you vault yourself over that horse. And he was talking about that. A lot of stuff I say is nonsense. Well, he's totally incorrect.
Harry, brother Harry, listen to your little brother here. Don't take it personally, my brother. We love you here, man. I mean, I don't care what you say. You're cool.
Because he was trying to mock me.
Hey,
like I didn't,
Harry, listen. Harry, let's stay positive. Come on, you're a good guy. And listen,
Right.
we're open door, brother. Open door. Anyway, Barry, Harry, hear me calling you Barry. All right.
I'm not Barry. I'm definitely not Barry. I'm not conservative.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyhow, folks, let's sorry, I think we're just kind of clicky a little quicker, but that's okay, my brother. Let's continue here, folks. So let me close up Medicare Advantage. Ultimately speaking, a lot of people tell you go see a specialist when you're deciding what kind of Medicare you're going to get, how you're going to create your Medicare space. I am not a specialist, but I'm going to give what I am going to do when I'm of age for Medicare. And if nothing changes and it stays like this, assuming that I have a few extra dollars in my pocket, which I hope most of us will have, those who don't have it, I would love to start designing funds to pay people's Medicare supplemental. I don't know. We need to work on something from a nonprofit point of view. And I imagine that they're there already. But I am definitely going Medicare Part A, Part B, Medicare Part D, with the supplemental that usually can include D. And so the idea is to go to the specialist just to determine what your supplemental is going to look like. But do not give up on what our society gives you, Medicare Part A and Part B, because that gives you choices. Everybody, 90-something% of doctors take Medicare Part A, Medicare Part B, which is doctor and hospitalization. And you know who doesn't? Medicare Advantage tells you they're your masters. They tell you what you can go to. If you travel out of country, you're off your books. You're now going to pay the out-of-state price, or you're going to pay the out-of-network price, and that can cost you a big penny, and sometimes they don't pay at all. So please, I know you have some great stars advertising Medicare Advantage. I know you see who I would call formerly reputable newscasters advertising Medicare Advantage. Don't believe them. They sold their souls for the profit sector, that where profit doesn't belong in healthcare. They sold their souls. That's my opinion. I don't want to call it fact for legal reasons. That's my opinion. And if any one of these people who have accepted their monies to use their goodwill to convince millions of Americans to go for Medicare Advantage plans, please give me a call and tell me if you think I'm wrong. Why don't you come on air and let's talk about it live? 713. Okay, folks, we only have about 3 minutes left, and I'm at a big zero. Please give us a call, 713-526-573. I gave you a full program. By the way, you can go to politicsandright.com/newsletter to get the story about the electric cars, to get the story about the other two stories that I had here. Please, 713-526-5738. Hit extension number 1 to contribute right now. I would love to get somebody to thank right now. But if I miss my mark today, it means I double what I need to raise tomorrow. So give us a call, 713-526-5738, extension number 1. Is there anything you need to say, Jack? I don't know if you're on the mic.
Yeah, I can, this Medicare Take Advantage of You is a program that was put in by George W. Bush. And what it does is when you sign up for Medicare Advantage, it takes you off Medicare and allows that company to bill for Medicare at an increased rate to cover profits for the CEOs.
Yes.
That's what's going on.
Exactly. Looks like we got one call. Let's see this. Folks, give us a call, 526-5738, extension number 1 to donate. We need your call to keep this show on the air. We need your call to keep this show on the air, or go to kpft.org and hit number 1. Let's go to Melissa. Come on in, Melissa. There you go. Come on in. Good morning, Melissa.
Hello, my name is Marissa. I am the owner of a Hugaway Healthcare. We've been in business for 15 years, and this is the first time in history that I have 700 unpaid claims.
And tell us, why is that again?
Medicare Advantage.
Thank you. Thank you.
They are kicking our elderly out of hospitals. They are kicking them out of rehab, and they expect for them to stay home, and they are not paying the home health care. They are limiting us on nurses. They are limiting us to 7 visits only at the home. Medicare had unlimited. You did now our people have to wait 10 days before we get approval to go and see them in the home, and that is with wounds.
That is shameful. And all of that is in the name of profit. Again, when they're advertising, they're giving you Luby's dinners. They're giving you a breakfast. They're giving you a healthcare car, a car to go to the gym. But at the same time, where do you actually need the real healthcare? They screw you. Thank you so kindly, Melissa, for telling your side of your truthful story, because it is something that we're hearing up over and over. Thank you, Melissa.
I had to have a layoff for the first time in 15 years because I could not pay my employees. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Very important statement. All right, folks, we are at the end of the program. I need you to call 713-526-5738, extension number 1 now to contribute. Please remember to contribute in the name of Politics Done Right. We can't do this without you. Anyway, thank you, Jack. One last word, Jack.
Let's take care of ourselves, take care of the people, vote these bums out. Let's get our single payer medical insurance and get rid of all these blood suckers.
Thank you so kindly, Jack. Anyway, folks, thank you, Jack, for doing an excellent job in the studio today by yourself. My name is Egberto Willis. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, callers. Thank you, everybody. Please call 713-526-5738, extension number 1 to donate in the name of Politics Done Right. I am Egberto Willis. This is Politics Done Right, and you guys know how I end this, baby. I am what? Out.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.